Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one of our Freelance Paralegal 101 mini-series. Jacqueline Foster here. Very excited to be with you today. If you're in here, comment hello, say hi. If you're joining live, write live. I know a lot of people are going to be watching the replay on this, so if you're watching the replay, comment replay and just still say hello. I love to see familiar faces in here. Really quick before I get started, because I know I get asked this throughout all my webinars, is the link to the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap course is in the Facebook comments. I have pinned it. I can't do that in LinkedIn. Shelby, if you're in here, we kind of had a little bit of a miscommunication on her joining me today. That was my fault. If you're in here, please share it for me. If not, I will get that link. Otherwise, it's right here in the event description on LinkedIn. Same thing with the Paralegal Entrepreneur Yearly Planner. I've linked it in Facebook for those that are interested in it. LinkedIn, I will get to when the live ends. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. All right. Hi, everyone. So excited for you guys to be joining. Now, I'm going to try to make these short and sweet because it's a mini series. It's almost like a rapid fire. Like, this is really designed for my paralegals out there that are still really like wanting to freelance. They're super interested in freelancing, but they're totally not on board with the process yet. They're not on board yet with the idea that they can actually be successful with a freelance paralegal business. Now, so today, I want to go through the transformative roadmap, and it's not just about, what's in my course. It is about what's in my course, but it's also just going through the roadmap that will actually create a successful and scalable business. So I'm all about creating scalability when I help my paralegals build freelance paralegal businesses, being so that I find if we don't go all in as far as our design and our approach to building this business from day one, it's very difficult to keep that momentum and compound that momentum on one another with clients and repeat customers and referrals and marketing success, all of those things. So I really want to just pull that apart to sort of prove my point into how all these steps that you'll need to take to build that business is going to pay off in the long run, instead of just throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what will stick. And then I want to run through some success stories from past students, testimonials I've received. I know I've received quite a few of them over the last couple of years of running these courses, but I'm going to focus on some that I have published on my website, as well as a written testimonial from a very, very successful paralegal entrepreneur that took my course back in 2021. So let's get started. Welcome and overview. Again, this is a mini series. We are going to run it every single day this week at 11 Central Time. I'm going to take that banner off of there. I just realized I still have that on there and it's distracting. Put that one on there. Oh, hide. All right. So we are going to run through a mini crash Freelance 101 topic every single day this week. I'm not going to make it super long. I do want to leave room for questions. So as you guys are listening to me, or if any questions come in your head, throw them in the comments, and I'm going to leave some space at the end to answer them. So today we're going to go through, I already discussed that transformative freelance paralegal roadmap, how actually following a roadmap is going to lead you to having a successful freelance business. And then we're going to demonstrate that with some success stories from past students, just to give you that proof. Day 2, tomorrow, Tuesday at 11, we're going to be designing your business blueprint. So we're going to run through the concept of crafting that strong foundation for your freelance paralegal business, setting those clear short and long-term goals so that you can keep propelling your way towards your ultimate successes. And then the importance of scalability within your chosen business model and connecting that to your short and long-term goals. So number one thing I run through in my first thing I run through in the course, in the roadmap, is creating those short and long-term goals and designing our business model to be able to meet them and to be able to create and make those things come to fruition, like fruition. I think I always pronounce that word wrong, but to build them on a compounding way so that we're actually getting to where we want to go, instead of, like, again, throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing where we land. Okay. Day 3 on Wednesday at 11 Central, we're going to be finding your North Star client. I always, and anything I teach, I'm going to throw this in here because it is the number one thing. If anybody comes to me and says my marketing's not working, if anybody comes to me and says I'm dealing with awful clients, or clients aren't paying, or clients think my prices are too high, or what am I off point here? I say, no, revisit your North Star client. You're attracting the wrong people. The moment you get that North Star client down right, you will really find success in your business. So that's why we're even throwing it here and creating service offerings that align perfectly with your client's needs. I'm going to just run through an overview on that on Wednesday. Day 4 is the fun stuff, the financial freedom as a freelance paralegal, these pricing strategies, setting realistic financial goals that are also huge, right? So when we say realistic, we're talking about how we're going to get there, how we're going to compound with a lot of encouragement, knowing that it's not going to take you a long time to get there, right? We have a ton of case studies that show paralegals blew up their financial dreams, what seem to be overnight, might be a year or what have you, but it happens very quickly if you approach things right. And then just giving you some insights into achieving that financial success as a freelance paralegal, specifically for those that can't just jump all in and quit their job and say, I'm doing this full time, kind of getting you there inch by inch, right? And then finally on Friday, we're going to be building your brand and your marketing magic. We're going to discuss those things that we'll be talking in the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap course, the significance of this memorable brand and professional online presence. That's another thing I talk when my paralegals that haven't taken my course, or they'll come to me and they'll say, like, I really want to freelance, but I just can't get clients, or I see these comments all over the place. I talk first, like, where's your North Star client at? Who is it? Do you even have it defined? And then how are you contributing to your brand on a daily basis through that content marketing? And then getting ready for that sales call and, again, the content marketing consistency, and talking about those primary, like, very much important elements of content marketing if you want to see results. So let's jump into today. That was the welcome and overview. So again, welcome. Again, if you have any questions starting, throw them in. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Jillian. Mary, I already said hi. I do see a couple others that says Facebook users. I don't know that I can see your guys' names, so I'm so sorry. It's just, I'm going through StreamYard, so things can be a little goofy here. Okay, let's go through the Transformative Freelance Paralegal Roadmap. Now, I think I can share my screen here. Yep. And I'm going to share the website. And this is so that it helps me walk you through the roadmap as I have laid it out and stay on point. Anybody who has followed me for quite some time knows I am very, very habitual to going down rabbit holes, because I just want to, like, say all the things and get you pumped and say, like, these are the answers to everything. But I'm going to try to just talk you through this Transformative Freelance Paralegal Roadmap. Now, if you've purchased the Paralegal Entrepreneur Planner and yearly planner and guide, you'll have a guide to our 12-step to starting a freelance paralegal business. It's not robust. It's the steps. These are the things you need to be going through. I can't possibly write something big enough in that to give away to actually develop you through that. But these are the steps you're going to be taking. So I want to talk about how this is transformative. And I did put the curriculum on the website. So if you want to go check that out and just digest it, as far as these things you're going to be getting access to once you join this lounge, is first and foremost, I want to talk about the freelance paralegal market. Now, this is part of the roadmap to building a very successful freelance paralegal business. You have to really understand the market and the market need, because as I discuss in this module, problem plus solution equals a strong business. If there's a strong problem and you have a definite solution, that is a business able to be born, right? So a lot of the times people will find a problem, but they don't have the right solution, or vice versa. There's really no problem, and they're coming up with a solution to that problem in the market. With freelance paralegals, there is a huge problem out there for multitudes of reasons, and you are the solution coming in to solve that. So you automatically, there is a business demand out there, and that's something I want to talk about right away, because a lot of the times my paralegals that really want to freelance just can't fathom, attorneys actually wanting these services. And I was there too, because when I started, all I could think about was my small town attorney that, like, there's no freaking way he would ever hire a freelance paralegal, until I got out into the world and started subcontracting and realizing, like, I have this huge nationwide reach and there's so many attorneys out there. Now, this was in 2018. It's even blown up tenfold since then. Attorneys are finally realizing like the paralegal is such an individual profession. Like, it's not your support staff, right? It's like the nurse to the doctor. Like, it's so necessary for law firm growth. So you really want to get close to that market. And so if you're not planning on taking this roadmap, these are the advices. This is the advice I'm going to give you. Make sure you're really getting close to that market. The closer you can get to the why behind why there's such a market and what attorneys are struggling with on a daily basis, the more you're going to be able to market your business properly. You're going to be able to fix those problems with your services and creating who's the North Star client and what problems specifically are they dealing with as all of it goes through. Another one I want to talk about real quick in the intro is growth mindset. You have to get yourself into a growth mindset before you start this business, because we as paralegals, though we might have some natural business acumen to us, or we've learned some things over the years helping lawyers grow their law firms, which is a business, and we've seen things behind I'm going to mute my computer here. We've seen things behind the scenes on how businesses operate. We really have to get ready to be in that growth mindset so that we don't fall into one of those statistics of businesses failed. And I hate the word failed, because I think that the statistic on, I can't remember it's like astronomical how many businesses fail within their first year and then their third year and then their fifth year. I don't think it's necessarily failed. I think it's gave up. They went through a lot of them. Anyway, I'm not saying all of them. Some of them just don't have the right business structure in place, or they've decided to join a business where there's no market demand, or whatever it may be. Or it could be a cash flow issue, which you will never have to deal with as a freelance paralegal because there's no cash flow needed to start. That growth mindset, it's like you hit these roadblocks, and there's been so many times in my journey, and so many times if anybody in here that's like been through my courses or are successfully freelancing, please vouch for me on this. There's going to be roadblocks where you're like, I don't know if I can be cut out for this. Like, there's so many things I need to learn. You will learn, and your business will teach you as you evolve. And that's harnessing that growth mindset to be able to really commit to your business, because committing to the business is half the battle. Committing, mindset, belief systems, that is more than half the battle if you compile all those together. The rest is just the details, which we can all work through and create and do together. Okay, so this is where we really start to get into the roadmap of building a business that's scalable. And I want to stop one more time to emphasize that I'm not just teaching people, and nor do I want to teach people how to just start a business, right? I could do that in 3 minutes flat, don't hold me to that. But I could tell you how to start a business really, really simply. My 12-step freelance paralegal, it'll tell you these are the steps you need to take. Here you go, right? But it's not as simple as just starting an LLC, putting it on your LinkedIn that you're freelancing, and just waiting for clients to come, right? That type of approach to building a business in any capacity is not scalable. It's not sustainable. And I don't care if you are starting a gardening blog and you really want to transform it into a huge business, or you're trying to build a freelance paralegal agency empire. Either way, you have to treat it like a business and really get in that position of a CEO to look at the short-term goals, the long-term goals. Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Where ultimately at the, you'll never fully arrive. And I promise you that once you get that entrepreneur bug, you're going to just it gets really fun. Actually, you start to create in your mind and you build more business around your business. But where are you looking to arrive, right? So what business model are you wanting to start? You really have to get clear on that within your establishment of your business. What business model is going to be right for you specifically? What wakes you up in the morning? What scaling pros and cons do you think that you'd be best to handle? Because each model, the group model, the group model / team model, the solo model, the agency model, getting into productizing your business, they all are going to have unique pros and cons, right? And what do you want to wake up every day doing? And that goes back to the longevity of you and your business, making sure that you're not just building a business for the financial gain, but also for that freedom in your life, that clarity, that ability to live your true authentic life, right? That's what I define rich, is the enough financials to also let you live your authentic life. What would make you feel best? So really getting clear on that. And then it just comes down to, obviously within the business basics of establishing the LLC and getting those templates, those agreements, those things in place. Like, how are you going to actually operate kind of the boring side of the business, as I like to call it, just that stuffy type paperwork side of it all. So once you sort of decided, and you might on your roadmap get into different categories of designing this business and starting this business, where you might back up a little bit and say, okay, now that I'm really diving into my North Star client and figuring out my service offerings, is this aligning with my business model's sustainability, right? So we have scalability, which means you can continue to grow it. You're not going to hit that cap and be like, I have nowhere else to go with the growth of my business because I just haven't figured out my model fitting in with my services, right? So we have to make sure that once we're starting to set our financial goals and our service offerings and our North Star client, we might end up revisiting that business model establishment and deciding what is going to best fit all together. And they come together like a puzzle. So as you go through this transformative roadmap, you're really going to want to decide who that North Star client is, creating that client persona, getting that service offering that, you have I always call it the 4 services pyramid, where you're creating different revenue streams because you're meeting your ideal client at every stage of where they're at, right? If they're here and they can only afford this tier of your pyramid, but you're providing that so you get them into your service funnel, whereas they can grow. And that's how you also create multiple streams of revenue. You create longevity with your clients. So really deciding, how your North Star client is aligning with your services and your prices, right? So once we start getting into the prices, we really want to be looking at our financial needs, right? What are our goals? Going back to our model, how are we going to scale there? It might look different if you decide to go in solo or if you decide to build a team. You have to look at different things such as profit margins and what's going to be your best pricing point, looking at the market, which is, kind of all over the place, but making sure we're always going back to our North Star client. We're not trying to necessarily we're trying to be competitive in the market, but we're also trying to be in alignment with our North Star client and what they can realistically afford and what you're actually giving them as it relates to savings, return on investment, and the ability to grow their practice more, right? Which is also in the return on investment beyond the financial hourly gains. We're trying to connect all those together. And I hope you're starting to sort of see where I build this. It's a roadmap and sometimes we have to back up, right, on the roadmap and go back and say, I might have missed a turn here. I might have misconstrued my GPS signal here because this is what I thought I wanted for business, but this is really who I want to work with. And this is how I can best serve them in a way where my pricing points are going to stay in alignment with both them and my long-term personal financial desires and goals, right? So I'm wanting to make the connection here on day one in how there's a difference between just deciding to freelance, throwing a freelance title on your LinkedIn profile, advertising yourself passively as you're taking on freelance attorney or freelance clients, right? You're going to freelance for these attorneys, and actually building a business that's going to expedite that process. Now, I'm not saying you can't be successful if you do the former that I just explained, but it's going to take years and years and years to really build momentum. And if you're even if you're wanting to do this supplementally, you want to save up for your children's college or that big trip or pay off debt with your freelance work or whatever your financial goals are around it and your lifestyle goals are around it, you're going to waste a lot of time like I did from 2018 to 2020, where I look back and say, if I just actually treated this like a business, I would have been 10 steps ahead, which is fine. I'm happy where I'm at now. I learned all of these things as a result and can teach people about, what makes it different. What makes the one, there's 600,000 freelance paralegals out there, but 90% of them probably aren't generating maybe a client a month, right? What stands out this paralegal freelancing from the other? What are they doing differently? And the ultimate, looking at this roadmap, the ultimate difference is paralegal A is just waiting for clients to come and just passively advertising their services. Paralegal B is actually building a business, and it's not always tangible, but building a business around them and following these roadmaps so that you're attracting your ideal clients to you. You're being established as you get into your marketing, because going up here, you're understanding, and right in this section, you're understanding your North Star client, you're understanding your service offerings and how they directly solve that North Star client's problems. And then you're also creating a price point that is so beneficial for the attorney in a lot of ways. That's why I put the employee cost calculator in here, the CEO dashboard. Like, how are we going to track the ROI on this, right? Because that way, once we get, the systems and the softwares, that's definitely a part of it, right? We want to know how we're going to be building our business structure around what business model do we have and what softwares will we need in place down the road to sustain that business's operations. But as you can see, once you know those things and you get into designing your website and you get into LinkedIn optimization, when you get into networking, you know who you're trying to reach. So everything you create from your authentic brand, right? You're creating an authentic brand that is aligning with both you and your ideal client. It's memorable. It's something that people are connecting to, like, this business was built specifically for my situation, right? And to help me through my situation. Then when you get into LinkedIn and you start connecting with people and connecting with the right people, all those puzzle pieces come together. And it's like suddenly you have this business plan on one sheet of paper that is so understandable and repeatable, right? It's something that you can get into once you get into your content marketing. You're creating the marketing that you're putting out there, the blogs, like if you eventually get into podcasting, getting on podcast episodes, becoming a guest speaker, writing articles for other publications, just the general posting and the content you put out there becomes so clear. And that's when it all comes together, right? We're not throwing spaghetti at a wall, sharing some random blog and thinking, oh, somebody's going to see that and connect with it. We're really intentional about our content marketing in our connecting with our North Star client at every stage, right? Because that one North Star client might be originally a brand new solo, and then in a growth phase of, I have so much work and I don't quite have the time or the resources to build and bring in somebody experience to help me handle all these clients. And then they get into where they have a couple of employees, but there's still a gap, right? You're following them along their journey and helping them be the hero in their own story, because you understand that North Star client so intimately. Everything else comes into play. These marketing, I give 365 content marketing prompts, but once you know that North Star client, you'll be able to take that prompt and know how to adjust it to how your ideal client is going to connect with it, right? Because we don't just want to throw spaghetti at a wall. Although I love actually doing that. It's really entertaining. And my 5-year-old loves doing that too. When I boil noodles, I'm like, should we check the spaghetti? I do. I love to see if it'll stick and if it's ready. But we don't want to do that in our businesses. And further, you're creating like just white noise, right? White noise into the crowd. The idea around building this business in a strategic way, in a roadmap way. And this is how paralegals find success, okay? Hi from South Africa. Hello. Will you be sharing the templates? Yes, the templates are all going to be in the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap course. They're all ready, all available in there. The course is currently on discount. It's for early bird enrollment. I'm going to talk about this a little bit as I switch my screens here, because I'm going to share a different screen. The roadmap is still on discount till the end of this week. So you have until Friday to join on the early bird discount, and then January 15th, that course is open, right? So it's open, ready to take it. It's self-paced. Private Facebook group though for direct questions. I'm always here. Okay. Will this PowerPoint be available as well? I will be putting the recording on my YouTube. It'll also be available on these live streaming platforms. The screen sharing won't be though, because I cannot figure out how to record on, let me see a window here. Okay, I can't figure out how to record on StreamYard. So, but yes, this recording will be available. I see my links being shared. Thank you so much. I think that's Shelby. Thank you, Shelby. All right, so I want to talk about, and a lot of you, this might be a repeat because I just did a video on YouTube last week where I talk about paralegal success and connecting it with business, like taking your business seriously, right? So this is from Heather Pickett. Heather, if you're in here, I know you're usually in my webinars. You might not be in here today, but Heather, say hi. Thank you again so much for this testimonial. So I just want to read it really quick. And before I read it, understand that Heather, she had started her business in August of 2021. She took my course like almost immediately thereafter, my Freelance Paralegal Roadmap course. At the time, it was called Start, Build, Scale. And now today, so, and why I'm saying this is because I want you guys to know how quickly things can change for you. Today, 2021, 2022, 2023, kind of now, like 2.5 years, not even later, she has a company of 20 professionals ranging from senior bankruptcy paralegals to executive assistants, sales managers, legal assistants, estate planning paralegals, and she's the CEO of all of it. So she has scaled her business from just kind of solo getting clients in the bankruptcy realm to now a team of 20 people, right? That's incredible. So again, Heather, congratulations on your success. It's been amazing to watch you. But as she said, participating in Jacqueline's course was a pivotal moment in my journey as a founder of Propel Paralegal Services. Jacqueline's comprehensive approach, combining invaluable advice, practical guidance, and a wealth of knowledge is precisely what I needed shortly after launching my business. Her insights are not just theoretical, they're deeply rooted in real-world applications essential for anyone aspiring to start and thrive in the freelance or virtual paralegal sector. This course doesn't just teach you the ropes, it empowers you to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence and skills. I highly recommend it to anyone poised to make their mark in the virtual legal services industry. Again, Heather, thank you so much. Now, again, I just want to make the connection here. Heather took that course and she followed like the exact same roadmap. This is everything that was in Start, Build, Scale. The only difference from Start, Build, Scale to Freelance Paralegal Roadmap is I have 2 more years of experience, so I've re-recorded it, right? So you're getting a lot more than what Heather, sorry, but you did it anyway, right? You rocked it through. You're getting a lot more in this course than I was able to give in 2021. In 2021, I had hit 6 figures. So this is another testimonial of myself following my own roadmaps. I had hit 6 figures as a freelance paralegal with a couple of paralegals supporting me as subcontractors. We hit the 6-figure mark in our full fiscal year. I think our first business from March 2020 until December, I think we did like somewhere in the realm of 60,000 that year. So then in the year 2021, which would have been our first full fiscal year, we exceeded 100,000, including me exceeding 100,000 in my net revenue. And then in 2022, so not last year, but the year before that, we hit the $500,000 mark. So I was able to transform my business following these roadmaps that I put in place for myself, learning a lot of and making a lot of mistakes along the way and learning a lot of things. I was also able to build my business into a really great staffing agency within 3 years, right? $500,000 in 3 years. And again, I don't say this to boast. The reason I talk about my financials is because I know paralegals are skeptical by nature. We are built to be that way just by the very nature of the work we do. And all it is to give you real life validation and proof that this is so possible. There was nothing exceptionally unique about me. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I should talk good things. Good self-talk, Jacqueline, right? But there was nothing uniquely. I had $200 in my account. We were overdrafting the account all the time. I lived in the middle of nowhere. My Wi-Fi was horrible. My computer was from 2010 when I graduated high school. So it was like 10 years old, and it was tiny. I had no resources whatsoever, and I had a newborn baby on my lap, right? Well, at the time he was 1, but I had a baby at home, full-time stay-at-home mom. So there was nothing like I did that was just that flip, like that's why she made 6 figures, right? It wasn't that. It was committing to finally waking up one day and saying, I'm treating this like a business. And I didn't have the roadmap that you guys have here in front of you. I wish I did. I had to piecemeal stuff from, YouTube and different types of virtual assistant people that were trying to show you how to build a business. A lot of how I built it is just learning by making a lot of mistakes and connecting with the right people as far as it related to how I built my business and how I networked strategically. So you guys have the opportunity to have this roadmap in front of you. And again, I love giving you guys the freebies, the everything I'm doing right now to motivate you, to inspire you. Follow my podcast, follow my YouTube, go on my Facebook. I try to go live in there often. I did a whole webinar era earlier or late last year or mid last year. This roadmap is my creation of simplifying it, but also expanding on it so you have a step-by-step approach to building something that you can scale beyond 6 figures, right? Okay, so one more thing I just want to write just for a little bit more validation to you guys. Stop screen, present, let's go, share screen. What are you guys thinking? Tell me. What's in the comments, please tell me. What is holding you back from starting a business? Have you started a business? How has it been going for you? Give me some feedback so I can answer any questions that might come through. All right. Another one. This course is amazing. I learned real techniques that I can implement immediately in order from going to an IC, she meant a subcontractor, to getting clients on my own at the rate I needed. So she was subcontracting, taking, a $25 an hour rate or whatever she was making, to actually going out and establishing and getting clients on her own rate and making her freelance business a reality. Miss Monica, thank you again so much. Monica is a wonderful, wonderful paralegal and person. Jacqueline is willing to pass on so many valuable lessons she had to learn the hard way so that we can learn from her experiences. She's accessible and responsive. I can't recommend this course highly enough. Jeremy, launching a business can be scary, and this course has been a great confidence boost, and I highly recommend it. So this is a big one too. Like, this is the power of just treating your business like a business from day one. Whether you're taking my course or not, what I want you to take away from this mini series is treat your business like a business from day one, and things will change so quickly for you. Wanted to say how thankful I am for this group and course. I haven't officially launched yet and have already booked 2 clients in the last week through referrals. That was when I called it Freelance Paralegal Accelerator. I've obviously been through a lot of different names of this course, but Roadmap I think will stick. Roadmap will stick. Booked 2 clients and haven't even officially launched, just by putting her intentions out there and creating the space around her, and hasn't officially made it public yet, just starting to implement some of the strategies and the approaches to treating it like a business. Boom, 2 clients. Since the start of COVID-19, I have been attempting to make my dream of taking my paralegal skills freelance a reality. Within just the first few core lessons of this course, I was implementing simple tricks and we were being taught. I was getting instantly getting results. And that is what I want you to take away from this webinar. That as you start to build a business and you're treating it like a business, you're a business owner now. Once you start, you will quickly get results. Totally understand that fear of failure. It held me back for so many years. And the fear of failure wasn't even just about, like, I might not succeed. It was about other people seeing me fail. And that was deep rooted in me. I hid my business from a lot of people for a long time because of that, because I wasn't quite sure if I was going to succeed yet. That's where a part of the course, I'm going through personal development at the end. I didn't talk about that because I did talk about it in the beginning, though. The growth mindset. It's 50, probably more percent mindset and consistency and self-belief system. And that's why at the end, I've added in more personal development, more things to sort of break through. And I would highly recommend, if fear of failure is the biggest thing holding you back, meditate. Do a lot of meditating, journaling, read anything you can get on law of attraction. Ask and it is given. Whether or not you believe in the law of attraction or you believe in the concept of manifestation, just getting yourself in a better mindset. Yes, this will be on a replay. There will be a replay. Just getting yourself in the better mindset of believing in yourself will help you conquer that fear, knowing that you're supported and you're going to get there one way or the other. Attorneys not wanting to pay. Yep. So I've dealt with a couple people telling me like they're reaching attorneys and just like scoff at my hourly rate, and they're telling me that they're asking attorneys for the same rate that I charge, and actually less than a lot of my course members are charging, my prior course members are charging, and are very successful doing. It all comes down to your ideal client. You have to make sure you're really defining that North Star client so that you're targeting them and you're aligning everything with them. So people that are charging less than me, less than what or more than what I charge, or the other way around. People that are charging less than what I'm charging and saying attorneys are scoffing at it, like, I don't ever get that push. I mean, I might get the push of it's out of my budget, but I've never been told that's way too much money, because I'm attracting the clients that recognize their problem and how we are the solution with the return on investment they're going to experience, the ability to grow their law firm in a sustainable way. They're recognizing the outcomes, and they're looking at it from a different business perspective versus like, you can't compare it to an employee. We are saving them money on employee costs, but we're not looking at it like, oh, if I paid you that hourly rate 40 hours a week, like that would be a huge salary I'd be dishing out. That's insane. Okay, so then they realize, like, the right clients will realize, but look at the value they're bringing to my law firm. This is what my law firm has been missing, right? So we want to make sure we're connecting with that. Secondly, if they're not paying invoices consistently and timely, I dealt with that for way too long. When I finally said, I am having credit cards on file, there is they have to pay up front the minimums for each month, and obviously there's details within that. And then the overage onto the next month, because I was dealing with the same thing. You know, I cover, and plus I cover my paralegals' pay. So when I'm paying out all these hours and my attorneys are taking 2 months, 3 months to pay their invoices, it was impossible and it was not sustainable. It's not a great way to do business. So I've never had any attorney fluff about putting a card on file and having automatic payments come out for those invoices. Obviously, we have things in place to protect them, to protect us. It's all good. But yes, we definitely want to make sure we're putting those proper protections in place to make sure that they're not paying you, right? Okay. All right, everybody. If any other questions come through, yes, the replay will be available. It'll be in this group. I think you're on Facebook. Just come back to the Facebook group and find the live. I'll also throw it into the chat that we have going around Freelance Paralegal 101 mini series. So thank you guys so very much. Again, the course is discounted through Friday. On Friday, I am taking the discount off. It'll be regular enrollment, and then we're closing the doors. So the reason being why I'm shutting doors is because we're also going to have a second offer within the group exclusive to the members. So I want to make sure that we get everybody, in the group at the time, so they're all together for the ongoing coaching that'll be available to join. So make sure, if you've been considering, thank you for sharing the planner. Yes, there's the planner. If you're considering, make sure you join today, this week. Don't forget. And get that discount. It's $207, and you have lifetime access to this course, all my webinars, all my resources, my templates, my spreadsheets, all the above. Grab it today, and you will have it for lifetime access and very, very cheap. There's also payment plans if you guys are waiting. Yes, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is designing your business blueprint, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how we're going to start figuring out the blueprint. So we're not even officially open. We're still in pre-purchase. We have about 50 members already in the roadmap. So come and join them. It's going to be amazing. We have a private group just dedicated for the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap. I'll have one on Facebook, and I'll have one on LinkedIn for those that aren't really Facebook users. I've had that happen where people are like, I'm not on Facebook, so we'll have both. And it's going to be a very exclusive group, and we all know we're here trying to accomplish similar goals in our lives, right? We're trying to become business owners, which makes it great for networking and building each other up and subcontracting together and collaborating on client projects. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you tomorrow at 11.